Your life?
Yes, we are live.
Hello. Welcome to our own Varun Kapur show, Rachana. I feel so happy that you are here with me. So, viewers, today we have our own, your own Rachana Nadella Somayajula. We all fondly call her RS. For many of you, she doesn't need an introduction, but there may be new viewers here. So I have to introduce her. And not only because of that, but there is so much wealth of information when I went to look out for her profile. She teaches coding and robotics to children aged 6 to 16, and of course, even those beyond if they want. And she touches the lives of people in one country, two country, three country, no, 25 countries. She is a certified cognitive behavioral therapist and a neuro linguistic programming coach. And she wants to show parents and children how unstoppable we are if only we truly believe in our potential. She is the founder of Future Strong Academy. I take the liberty to share a part of a testimonial that caught my attention when I was going through her profile. And I am sorry, Rachana, I've got to share it. It is so very beautiful. And I just thought I must do it. I know in all your humility,
No,
you will not
it's
allow.
okay.
So I will just share it. I just, I was, I'm not sharing the details. Okay. So
Okay.
don't worry about the details. So the person who has written to her says, written a testimonial. She says, Rachana worked with me as a primary informatica architect on our data conversion project. This project was somewhat out of the ordinary and required an IT professional who is capable of using a wide variety of skills and is able to think outside the box. We all know it, how she is capable of thinking outside the box. Look at the show that she's conducting. It is a rag and snag and all kind of thing that she does there. And amazing it is how she captures the essence of what it is. And finally, even though we laugh all the time through the show, at the end of it, we understand how rotten the Bollywood system is because of the way she brings out the things. Amazing, Rachana. This only you can do. So, and lot of information she pulls up and does it there. So I will continue again. Sorry for going on a tangent, but I couldn't help it. Coming back again to the testimonial, Rachana is well versed in informatica processes and procedures. She's very good at understanding business processes, analyzing data, designing and developing processes to manage data conversion, extracts and loads between source and target systems. I was quite pleased to work with her as she's always dedicated and diligent in her work. She was also able to integrate quickly with the diverse project team and begin contributing immediately upon arrival. I would happily recommend Rachna as an excellent performer and a great asset for any IT data team. Now, it's not for IT data, any team. She's there as the heart and soul of the team. Absolutely there for you. Amazing, Rachna. Now, viewers, as far as Rachna and many of the viewers, I don't have to tell you the genesis of this particular show, the Freedom from Addiction show. Now, but for any newcomer who is there, we all know it all started with the sad demise of our own Sushant Singh Rajput. He was not merely an actor on the silver screen. He was somebody who touched the lives of everybody, not just because he was a beautiful actor in Pavitra Rishta in the small screen, but also because off screen, on the social media, he was all the time off the silver screen on the social media. He was all the time connecting with people, writing to every viewer, every audience member, every person who interacted with him. And whenever he was out, whether it was a restaurant, a temple, a beach, anywhere, whether it is a balloon seller or it is an old age home, he touched the core of the people by the action that he did. He really was there with them. We could see that, how he felt for them. Now, he was eliminated from the face of this earth. We have every indication to show that, and we are waiting for the CBI to come out with that. But what broke our hearts was the people whom he trusted. They gave him drugs and he was gaslighted and he went through terrible times. So that is when we realized that people can become addicted without wanting to get addicted. And this is so dangerous. So that is when we decided that we have to work on this. Nobody wants to get addicted to anything. Everybody wants to be a good person. Everybody wants to attain the maximum potential. But there are elements which are there to destroy our country who are doing it deliberately. And there are people who just want to earn a quick buck and they don't realize the destruction that they are doing to the basic structure of our society by selling, whether it's alcohol or tobacco products or drugs, to innocent people. So that is why we started this freedom from addiction series, and this is the 11th session that we are having today. So let's start our conversation. Anything new captures our imagination. Anything people could use with least physical effort and without knowing how actually it worked was magic. I tell you, when an electric bulb came to a village, we had gone to a village where we put an electric bulb and you have to see the happiness of the people. They said we have to just put on the light and then it comes over there. And people are all coming around at Rotary Club. It happened some 12 years back. We went to a remote village and we put solar lights in all the houses and the street lights. They said they couldn't sleep for nights. They were coming out and sitting together and talking for long hours. So we had to find out how they could use those hours to work and earn extra livelihood, make more money. So anything people could use with least physical effort became magic. So it was could be electric bulb, it was telephone, it is gas stove, it was mixture, you name it. But then the digital world burst upon the scene quite suddenly, and because it is very affordable, what started as a digital affinity has now become an addiction. However, experts in the field of addiction are divided as to whether internet addiction disorder is really a true clinical dependence or simply a social and behavioral problem. Whatever it is, whether it is a behavioral problem or whether it's a disorder, we have to understand digital addiction because we know very well that this has a huge impact on our productivity. And today, to discuss that, we have the subject expert, Rachana. So, Rachana, thank you for accepting me in the show and do share with me your insights on this. So, any beginning thought that you would like to start with?
So thank you, Girija for taking me on my offer. Really appreciate that, because this technology addiction, as you said, is not clinically an identifiable disease yet, according to World Health Organization. Only one of the addictions is now a clinically diagnosed disease according to them, and I will get into the details as we get there. But the opening thought is this. I just wanted to quickly share my screen to just show you. As I was telling you, I will share the screen 1% of the time. So rest of the
You can
time we
take
will
as
be,
much as you want.
rest of the
You
time
know,
we
you
will
will
be
show
talking.
useful stuff and people will get a lot of value out of it. Absolutely.
Thank you. So this is something we all can, I think, identify with. So the mama is pulling him away from the phone. Hopelessly, he seems to be attached to that shiny rectangle thing, and he's not able to peel himself off. So if you or me have seen anyone in our lives like this, or ourselves, we can identify how our relationship with this shiny rectangular object has been. It has been taking over our lives in ways which we want and which we don't want. Also, I just want to say ki, if I start talking in Hindi, I don't know how many of our viewers here, and thank you for everybody for being here, your
No, no,
precious
you
time.
can talk in Hindi, Rachana. Many of the viewers
If
are,
if I
yes.
talk in Hindi, it will become a comedy show, Girija ji. So that is why I'm trying to stick to
Okay, okay, no problem.
English.
Anything where if somebody asks some specific explanation, I'll flash it and that we can do it.
Exactly, exactly. So, just wanted to show you a series of pictures that are right now defining our life. So, children, adults, teenagers, no matter whoever, in whatever junction of life we are in, we just want to get that one last meme, one last joke on WhatsApp, one last thing, and then we want to then, uh, shut off the internet. The problem is when we are not able to shut off the internet. So today's discussion is it our lack of self discipline that is making us hooked onto these devices, or is there something much bigger going on in the backdrop? Is it corporate greed? Is it the big tech, which is defined as FANG, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google? Are we as a society in the fangs of big tech? Or is this a systematic way of corporations to take humanity out of its productivity and manipulate our um, dystopian reality? Okay, so what is it? Let's discuss that. So we'll go through a couple of more pictures when the time is right, but right now this is what I have. So uh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Girija ji. Yeah.
I had fever, and so my throat is not at okay. So every now and then I get cough. So
I'm
that's why.
sorry. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes. So that picture is so very not just eye catching.
yeah,
It tells everything.
yeah.
What is it that you become, right? So people ask, why can't I be just enjoying myself? Is it not just a hobby? That is how people look at it. It's just an innocent hobby. If I tell my son, my grandson, my husband, or even sometimes I myself, I listen to one talk and then I move on to another talk, and then I realize, no, 40 minutes I've
Yeah,
listened. Now I
yeah,
cannot,
yeah,
you know, because we want to know what is happening in the country. We want to know what is happening with Susha. We want to know what is happening with the Ukraine war. So we want to follow up with so many things already. And as it is, there are some specific topics that we want to look on, and then there are something suddenly bursting into the scene, like suddenly somebody is murdered, Shraddha murder. And then that is all that I'm flashing over there. So again, you need to know it because it is on the top of the things. So suddenly, why can't I know? So if a person like me wants to know all the news and I want to be all the time there, then what about children who want to play games? What about somebody who likes the very experience of the visual beauty of ads,
yeah,
advertisements? There are people who love to watch simply ad after ad. I'm
yeah.
so surprised. Yes, that I first used to wonder, who will watch ads? Why? How come? Because most of the time, even if we are watching a serial, if an ad comes, I'm just going into the kitchen. That I
Right.
take it as a break if it comes as a compulsion.
Yeah,
It used to
yeah,
be like that.
yeah,
Okay, now, okay, you have the option to switch over. If it is YouTube or something, you can, after a period of time, you can say, skip the ad. You
yeah,
can do that.
yeah.
It shows for 1 or 2 seconds. But then there are people who love to watch ads. That is when I realized that why there is so much huge money there.
So,
When I discussed with people, so why is it not a mere hobby? Like you said, what is infused into the system to
yeah,
make it move from a hobby to an addiction? You explained
exactly.
that better. Yes.
Exactly. So again, this discussion is 15 years of how we started slowly stopping to live offline to now starting to live online more and more, right? So 2007, when I got my first iPhone into my hands, I was just completely blown away, right? Like so many billions of people around the world right now. So let us see if we are just playing doctor and patient, right? Let us say I come to you with a complaint saying that, hello, doctor, I can't finish a book. I can't, I turn on the movie, but I can't finish watching the movie. I can't even focus for more than few minutes. If anybody wants to sit down and have a conversation, I feel it's so boring. I immediately find myself reaching out for my phone. If anybody was going to come to you with this kind of a description, the disease is going to be something like fatal destruction. That is what it is. It is literally and figuratively becoming the number one productivity loss for us as a humanity. So I will be, yeah, so I will be talking about a few. I'll be throwing out some names so that those of you who are interested can go read these books, look up these videos to understand for yourself why we are behaving the way we are. So Amy Blankston, she is an author who talks about distraction and productivity. What she does is she says that we as humans are locking and unlocking our phones from 150 to 200 times a day. She says that on her podcast recently,
Absolutely.
and that is, she calculates the whole time period. It is 2.5 hours a day where we are turning it on, unlocking it, turning it on to quickly glance through our notifications,
Yeah.
turning it off, and without which, like literally 2 decades ago, we did not have that kind of a behavior as a human being. Like, can you imagine, like this monkey that I was just showing you, reaching out for the phone constantly without having the need for it? We are doing that, and that is about 38 days a year. We are doing that kind of a behavior. So if you were just talking about it, right? Like you're getting into the rabbit hole of video suggestions one after the other. You're watching a video for 40 minutes. You're not able to then peel off of it.
Like
You're
already
like,
it moves on, right? It just rolls in, and then you feel, oh, on the same topic, somebody else is saying something. Maybe I will know something more. But am I going to do something about it? I'm not thinking practically. So there are things that are waiting for me to be done,
yeah,
right? My knowing that is not going to make a difference to the life of anybody else
yeah.
or to myself, but still I want to know. I
So
know
that
everything. Yeah,
phenomena is not just happening to you. It is happening to me. It is happening to the people I know, I
everyone.
love, my
I
teens, my friends, my family, and that is called autodidactic. We as a community are becoming autodidactic because we are learning about the process of learning, and we are becoming self-taught in the process, and that is giving a rush to us. Oh, we are getting smarter. We are
you are
getting
in
more
a
knowledgeable.
wedding. The same thing I observe. I'm in a wedding, okay?
Yeah,
And wedding is of a close relative, and all of us are very close people to that
yeah,
person. And then the person is getting married. But at that time, somebody feels like for 10 minutes we have been talking. There are always, you will find one person looking at the phone down
yeah, yeah.
in a group of 10 people. So why does it happen? Because we are all so engaged in the conversation, but even then it happens.
So Sherry Turkle, this lady, 10 years ago, she gave a TED talk and wrote this book called Alone Together.
Yeah.
So you are all of us in this house are
Yes.
together, right? Together, but we are all on our personal devices.
Yes.
So we
So
are
that is why
heads
we say
down.
we are least alone when we are most alone, and when
Yeah,
we are most alone when we are least alone. There could be so many people with us, but we may be alone. That is
yeah,
because we have isolated us from human connection. We don't
exactly.
realize that. Yeah.
See, and part of it is not our own doing, right? So that is what we have to
That
keep
is what
on.
I want to understand how. I don't know how.
Exact, exactly. See, Snapchat. So I actually coach teens who are hopelessly addicted to what is called a Snapchat streaks. So streaks is when you're posting constantly a picture of yourself every single day without breaking. So what they say is, you have 118 days of streak. Don't lose it. So the minute the child sees that, what they're doing is, if you're going, so Christmas break is coming. If they are going off to a vacation where they don't have cell phone access, what they will do is they will give the access of their Snapchat account to their friend and say, I will keep texting you, or I have a series of photos that I have given you that you will have to post the 5 days I'm missing in action. Like, you become me and you post it on behalf of me so that I don't lose the streak. So some kids they boast about it on the internet. They say, I have 1,000 day streaks. I've been posting for 3 years. I've been posting for 2 years. So it is, if it would have been laughable if this was like a movie, right? But this is a reality. Facebook does not have any ending. There is a reason for that. The wall never ends. You can
Yes.
keep scrolling until your finger falls off. Sometimes they say that you've caught up on all the posts, but no, you can just still refresh the wall and something new and novel will pop out. These
Right.
are all designed and engineered for addiction. The Netflix, what you said is, I can find an instant recommendation on something that I like, right? In
Absolutely.
3 seconds, in 5 seconds, Netflix will immediately
Absolutely.
start the next episode. So even before your brain can make a logical decision, oh, I have still so many things to do, as you said. And that is exactly the definition of addiction here. In
Mm.
spite of all the things that I will have to do in my real life, I
Yeah.
am hopelessly screen sucking
Yeah.
when things are piling up in the background. So that is, and the whole point of our conversation here is to say that you are not, um, you know, a victim of your environment. You can take back control, right? So
Yes.
that is the whole point of our discussion here.
Right.
Uh, if you can just understand that there are two
Yes.
problems, right? Technology is ubiquitous, it is perpetual. So what that means is it is everywhere. My kids, like, whenever we jump into a car and
All
walk,
pervading.
exactly, it's always there. Free wi-fi, free
Yes.
wi-fi. What they say, right? If anything is free, it is demanding your attention, your
Yeah.
data. So nothing is really free. But
Absolutely.
yeah, we we
It's
we
a
yeah,
facade.
exactly. Oh, it's free Wi-Fi. It's this, it's that. It's a smartphone for a reason, because it is smart enough to keep your attention on it long. So that is the whole point, right? I mean, I can go into details. I want to make 6 points about what you said, about why the point that you said, why is technology the problem? Why can't I have any hobbies surrounding my research on technology or anything? The 6 points, I'll make them quickly and then we can go as soon as, I mean,
Take your
as
time.
okay, thank you. So point one is, if you see, okay, so for example, let me just, I had opened this up, let's see, I can share my screen. I just have a quick thing to show you. I was just horrified when I saw this. Okay. So last week, this was trending, Girijaji. So what was trending is TikTok blackout challenge. So if you research on it, if you try to see what is TikTok, a Chinese company that is
Yeah.
having our children and our adults hopelessly hooked onto it for its 14-second reels. Okay. So right now, if you see, let me, okay, it is killing our babies. Okay. Blackout challenge on TikTok is luring young kids to death.
Yeah.
TikTok's blackout challenge linked to 20 deaths in 18 months. Okay. What is happening is, right now, I just, there is one paragraph that is so horrific and sad to read. I'll show you.
Mm.
The boy had watched his little sister, Ariani, climb on top of a toy chest, wrap a metal dog leash around her neck, and hook the buckle to the wardrobe door hinge.
Oh
She
God.
then starts hanging herself 2 feet from the ground and then realizes that she's choking herself to death.
Oh God.
So the TikTok challenge was, hey, you will get an adrenaline rush when you choke yourself. Why don't you try it out? The problem is, this kind of blackout challenge has existed from 20, 30 years ago. The problem with technology is the scale, and the what we will discuss later is the supremacy of the asshole. Whoever is the loudest, whoever is the most obnoxious, whoever is the meanest on the internet rises up to the algorithm. So there are so many things that are happening. Yeah.
Yeah, there were children jumping off the, uh, high-rise buildings because of some such challenge some years back.
Exactly. So PUBG, so
Yes.
what you do is you go to the end of the game, and
Yes.
then that challenge is, because that's a virtual world, and you will have to, you're done. Your
Yes.
character is done. In the real world, children who were sitting on top of, like, a ledge of a wall on a high-rise building were like, my virtual character is now going to die, so that means I
They
need to
leaped
do
off.
something in a way that I also die, right? In virtual world, you can die and come back as many times as possible.
Yeah.
What happens in the real world, right? So that is so this is just one example, right? And what is happening, point number one, is the Chinese children and teenagers right now, they have a restriction from 2021 that they're limited to 1 hour
Oh,
of
okay.
video gaming use over the weekend. one
Okay.
hour no more than that. It is actually implemented by the Chinese government that they cannot play more than that. It is literally like parents don't have
And
access, they
this is let
no.
loose on the whole world, and the rest of the world is using it without any control. Oh,
Exactly. And this, Girijaji, they made a change from 2019, where 2019, the kids were having access to it 1 hour a day, okay, and
mm,
3 hours on the weekend. In less than 18 months, what they have done is, from
mm,
September 2021 onwards, if you are a Chinese teenager living in China or a
mm,
Chinese child living in China, the
mm.
only access to video games that you have is 1 hour over the weekend or holidays. So what does China know that we don't know about the harmful effects of technology? So
But how
China
do
dot
you manage to do that? How do they manage to restrain
so
yourself?
so they consolidated all the gaming servers. You
Mm.
can read more about it in China hashtag no, china-briefing.com. They lot of other websites also have these news articles,
Okay.
where how China has able to do this, restrict usage and funnel only through their systems. If you
Okay.
want access to video games, this is the only pathway you have. There is no other way. It's all super controlled, of course. There are other things that China is famous for controlling and everything, but
Yeah.
what do they know about uh, video games and the harmful effects of that on children, that they are restricting it too much, right? It is
Exactly.
known to cause aggression, behavioral problems. There's so many things, and we'll go into it when we get there. But so
Yes.
basically, the second point is, we
Yes.
are the billionaires of the silicon tech industry, they don't send their children to public schools, and they
Mm.
send them to a place called like Waldorf schools. And you can research about it. Waldorf schools is legendary because they don't have technology anywhere on campus. So
Yes.
you are a Valley tech billionaire entrepreneur, and you are making restricting technology around your children. So what do you know that a common man like I don't know, right?
Yeah. In
There
fact,
is
we tell our children, you should be very abreast of technology. You should know everything. We feel proud that our child can handle this. I heard a mother saying, my child does everything for me in Instagram, Facebook, everything. I don't know anything. I just say, Meko ye karna hai, and the child does it. I was like,
exactly
11-year-old child.
exactly, and see, that is what we know till now, right? Like the good, we are creating memes when we are happy or sad. If you remember, this one, let me show you one meme. This was the first time any one of us in 2011. Oh, sorry, I was sharing my screen till now. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. So, if you remember this, this is called a third world success meme that all of us, mostly around the world, got introduced to for the first time when memes became viral. This was 2011, when the success baby of a third world country, when they don't have, supposedly, this child doesn't have anything, right? Like you can see that poorest of the poor, but oh, I played a whole game of soccer. Nobody stepped on a landmine. You know, out of the most harshest of realities, we started making memes, we started to make them viral, and that is how we started using internet as a coping mechanism. This was
Exactly.
the onset, the meme culture that Generation Z, is millennials started it, Generation Z is now carrying it forward. Now we are in the middle of Generation Alpha, right? So, sorry, I'm not focusing on the. Sorry, I should. Yeah, I think I can
That's
see
okay.
some. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's fine.
Okay, so we what till now what we have been doing is we have been focusing on all the good that technology offers. You know, all the modern conveniences. We can showcase our talent and our voice. People are monetizing their passion. We are creating all these digital memories. It
Absolutely.
is a good change agent. We instant communication and feedback, right? If
Yes.
somebody doesn't like the tone of my voice or anything, they can just say, ma'am, you don't make sense, or you're not making sense. They can immediately give me feedback.
Not only that, sometimes there are disasters in some part of the world, and we came to know about, say, Latur
Yeah,
earthquake and all, and immediately people can, organize their resources, go there. So a lot of good things also happen because of
exactly.
social media. Some part of the world is affected with tsunami. Immediately we come to know. Then there are relief organizations working on relief, right?
Exactly. So, precision medication, right? As you are talking about healthcare and everything, precision medication is if you and I, both of us have diabetes, we both will be given the precise dose, up to the millimeter. That's what technology is, just evolving at such a rapid and great pace.
Yes.
But it is also sabotaging our productivity. That is the point here. And what do millionaires know that we don't know? That is the thing. So,
Yes.
so point
Why
number
are
three.
they keeping their children away from technology?
So point number three is bummer method. The bummer method is all these social media platforms are called bummer platforms. It is an acronym, and it stands for behavior of users modified to make an empire for rent. So basically what it means is my behavior is been modified so that my attention can be diverted in a way so that I can click an ad. I can do the behavior that big tech wants me to do. Okay, so this and this is where the attention currency that we are giving it away. But who are we giving it away to?
Hmm.
Asshole supremacy. That's what it is called, where the loudest, meanest, the most unpleasant voice will always rise to the top of the algorithm because he or she gets more engagement on their posts, and
Exactly.
social media wants you to stay on it for a long time. So of course he will be or she will be trending more than,
Yes.
oh, I went and did a charity work for somebody. That's all boring. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good, but yeah, whatever, right?
Yeah.
See, the point is, Rotary clubs like yours have existed for
Yes.
decades,
Yeah. We
generations.
struggle to find a space. We struggle. Whatever we do, yeah, absolutely. But
It,
then there is a murder, then it is flashed everywhere. There is a rape, it is flashed everywhere. There are some people who are exposing themselves, then it is being wrapped. It is flashed everywhere. So yes, you are right. Yeah.
Exactly. And Juliana G says this, this is right. This is the reality. It is called our Generation Z was the first generation that was labeled the indoor generation.
Correct.
Literally, they spent more time indoors and
Yes.
most often alone on their personal devices than anybody else. And
Correct.
we have so
And that
many
is called freedom.
playgrounds. Freedom,
That's
exactly.
called freedom. Let me be.
Exactly, freedom of choice, freedom of expression.
Yeah.
That's so that is the point, right? Like the problem is Rotary clubs, Tupperware parties, all these cute little social gatherings where we are trying to do our best for the community, and all those things existed for a very long time. But the problem with technology is when asshole supremacy reigns, you are forgetting all the good things that are happening for
Yeah.
7.8 billion people, and you are focused on all the alarming things that are happening with
Yeah.
all the unfortunate few, and that is getting amplified. And the world, whoever has a negativity bias in their mind, is like, oh, the world is doomed, we don't have anything to look forward to, and it creates a feedback loop. And it doesn't allow you to thrive. So
Exactly. What is it that you can do? We are not even looking at, what is our sphere of influence? What is it that we can do? What is it that we cannot do? Okay. And what is it that we can do about? what doesn't work for us. Say,
Yeah.
like you said, the downtrodden, people where there is drought, where there is famine, what can we do for them? There is something that we all can collectively do. And we don't focus our attention there, but we are listening to something or watching something which we have no control over and which is not going to change anything. Some rape
Exactly.
has happened somewhere, some murder has happened somewhere, some police is following it. Yes, we need to know it, but not that minute to minute we have to be there on it, because it's not helping them anyway or helping us also in any way.
And you can tweet about it. You, of course, you can use your voice, but you will have to time box a few things. Otherwise,
Yes.
again, you will get into rabbit holes of, like, because how many social change activism ideas will you get? Like, there is going to be an outrageous situation every single time, but how do you manage yourself without burning out, right? So that is the point. And so the next point is, as we were talking about, of all the 5 to 6 top tech disorders that we have, only one of them, which is the gaming disorder, has been identified by World Health Organization as a very, very clinically clinical mental health disorder. It's
Oh
digital
God.
gaming, or video gaming as it is called. And
Okay.
that is the biggest problem that we have, right? Like, where children or teens and even adults, 35, 40. So
Obviously.
I have Brawl Stars. I play it once in a while because I have to teach my kids how to create those games. What
Mm.
we do is we create games rather than consume them. That is the whole point here, right?
Okay.
Use your imagination, creativity to build something that never existed.
Yes.
So when I talk to all these mods, all these moderators, they are
Yeah.
45-year-old moms who
Mm.
have so much to do with their kids, but they're like hopelessly addicted, and they spend. So what they do is they incentivize
Yeah.
to open a box, and then there
Right.
are some standard things that you get, standard trinkets that you get, and then there are some novelty items that you get out of the box.
Okay.
So if you
Yes.
want to get any legendary items and become like a top rank player, what you
Right.
have to do is you have to spend more money to buy more boxes to open them. Of course, if every box has good legendary stuff, why will the company make any money, right? So
Right.
that is the point number 4 that we have to understand, that excessive gaming disorder, unfortunately, is the only one right now, and not excessive internet use is a problem. So we'll get into that when we talk about what are the different kinds of
Yes.
technological problems that we have. And
Yeah.
so so two more quick points. So social media, how it is affecting our kids, and how it is affecting our adults, right? So psychologically, how we are wired is, if a child who is growing up, who does not have any experience of living life before they get to experience it online, what happens is, they will be, so for example, you are bringing cyber sex expert later, right? So they are going to explain to you, what is going to happen is, you'll have a skewed sense of reality, the perfectly toned bodies, the
Body. Right.
yeah, so you'll have this, and things that are not possible in the real world are happening online, and you have a skewed sense, you have a delusion about what reality can look like when
Exactly.
you grow up.
So they are never satisfied with their real partner.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
men are more
Or
susceptible.
themselves, or even themselves.
Exactly. They look at themselves to not living up to the standards of what are being shown. Exactly. So
Exactly.
self-esteem is taking a hit, lot of things. So see, men are susceptible in a way that they are playing more online video games, and gambling is a very big problem. Porn is a very big problem for men. Women, on the other hand, we also have our own addictions, but we are addicted to sexting. We are texting more often. We are constantly consumed by social media. And our biggest problem as women addicts is online shopping. So Amazon has this deal a day kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Whether you need it or not, it is $2, which was supposedly $20, right? A broom in the house. So, like last week,
Wow.
my friend was posting, "Oh, did you get into the deal a day WhatsApp group for Amazon? There is this broom that I wanted, which looks so good. It's only $2. Can you believe it? Free shipping." So there is this thing, right? If it is a deal that you, if
Even
it's
if you
something that
don't need it, because it is available at a less price, you will go and buy it.
exactly the
Yes, I
price
have seen this
is
all the time during Diwali sale. You might go to a mall, and
yeah,
then people used to do that. Now, though, it is online shopping. So you
exactly,
go to a mall, and then you will see things beautifully lined up there, and half the things they say 50% price, 25%. You do not even know whether the price was originally something more, and then they have made it 50%. But because they say 50%, then you go and you buy it, whether you
ex-
need it or not. You have not even planned, or you don't even have a place to keep at home, but still people buy
exactly.
it. And then they'll, after they buy it, they'll say, oh, I just had bought this something like this a year back, and I've not used it at all. It could be a juicer, it could be a grinder, and still people will buy it.
Exactly, exactly. And that is exactly what it is. And mostly we are also buying because we have seen it not in our friend's home. Earlier, we would see some things in our friend's home which we would aspire. Now, we are aspiring for things that we are seeing a nice woman in Greece has,
Yeah.
or somewhere else
A
who.
celebrity uses, a so-called celebrity uses.
Exactly,
Whether
exactly.
will use it or not doesn't make any this thing.
Exactly, exactly. Do we need it? Does it have any relevance in our life? It
More
doesn't
like,
matter, right?
yeah,
We
correct.
just saw it, we need it. And that is leading to what is called the blurred reality. This is
Yes.
our blurred realism, right? So, what they say is even Google will only, so whatever you pay for its clicks, it will
Mm.
then add it into their search result engine. So,
Yeah.
if you search for something,
Mm.
it can be based on your past purchases and your past interests, definitely, but it will also be because Google wants you to see it, it is on the front page. So
Yes.
there is a joke about, if you where is the best place to hide a dead body, and
Mm.
the best place is Google's second page of the search results, because how many of us go to the second page to search for anything, right? So the top filtered is that the reality that is being projected onto you, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that we'll have to understand. And all these human virtues that we see, they don't trend as much as the harmful content, because the reason is, uh, so why do you want to showcase how good you are or anything, right? Because,
Yeah.
oh, I want to be nice in front of my social media family, I want to look like, I'm doing greater good and everything. But if that good is manufactured because of external factors,
Yeah.
what intrinsic motivation will I have to uh, do generally good when the cameras are off, or when the social media is off, right? So that is
Absolutely.
the, yeah, so that is a blurred
The
reality.
motivation comes from being there on everybody's view. That's it.
Exactly. And so if you see, there is this TED talk which I highly recommend, if you want to see building, they're building a dystopian reality. Sorry, it's, yeah, building a dystopian reality for us, just so that people can click on their ads.
Yes.
It's by Zeynep Tufekci, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly.
Okay.
There is a TED talk which is, it's brilliant, and it will help us understand where we are going with blurred reality. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, yeah. Thank you. That, sorry, very long answer for a question.
No, no, but absolutely every point that you said is so relevant that we don't realize. Very often, people have forgotten the satisfaction of doing something for your own sake.
Exactly.
It is
Yeah.
for the clicks, it is for the likes. Somebody, you post, you have gone, you have done a service, and then you have shared it in Facebook. You have shared it because it is just sometimes a demand that, okay, I'm a part of Rotary, so
Yeah.
are you engaged socially, have you done your job, so you put it. But then you also go back and see how many likes have happened. Have people liked it? Have people commented on it? So people want to know that, and then others ask also, did our post get sufficient likes? What is it, what is wrong there? So you have done your service, and you know that there are beneficiaries out there, and their life has changed. Aren't you happy about it?
Yeah.
Why is it that other people have got to like it? Yes, you want to be a good role model, you want other people to replicate it, that's fine. But it should not be to such an extent that every 5 minutes you go there and check it. So the very beauty of doing things for your own satisfaction. What your right hand gives, your left hand need not know. That's what my mom used to say.
Yeah,
That, so you do it for your own satisfaction. That is going now. You do it
yeah,
for the claps that you receive there on the media.
exactly, exactly.
Well,
And
yeah.
yeah.
Now, Rachana, we'll move on to the various types of addiction. So that what are the different types of drug digital addiction that we have,
So,
right? Yeah.
okay, sure. So, I can broadly, I'll tell you what they look like, and then the 5 or 6 different types that are right now identified. Of course, they're still not clinical diagnosis,
Clinical, yeah.
except for the video
I
gaming
am
disorder.
getting an expert on, say, porn addiction, somebody on shopping addiction, somebody on food addiction, etc. But still,
That's
because
amazing.
you are going to talk in detail about this, I would definitely like you to identify those.
Okay, so
Yeah.
thank you. So basically, internet addiction disorder, right? It's broadly anything where you are connected to the outside world on a device, whether using internet, Wi-Fi, whatever it is. You internet addiction disorder is two kinds. It's compulsive, like a
Yeah.
lot of us engage in, and there is problematic. So
Yeah.
there is compulsive where you are hopelessly hooked onto it, and then there is some problematic things like online gambling, online shopping, and porn addiction, which are the problematic side of the compulsive internet
Compulsive.
behavior. So compulsive online can be uh, as simple as some of us who are content curators, like if you're a creator, if you're a writer, if you're an author, I see some people who are hopelessly stuck in information gathering. You know,
Yes, exactly. You become a dump for information.
you gather, you sort through all your things that you have gathered. You have links, you have bookmarks, you have watch later lists, you have subscription to every channel you seem to like, and it is in
It's
overwhelming.
subjective. There is no specific objective.
Exactly, it is because again we are becoming didactic,
Yeah.
and we want to learn. It becomes the superhuman of like know it all and everything, right?
Yeah.
So again, work related compulsive behaviors where you are avoiding crises like health, death, divorce, and all those things, and are hopelessly obsessed about making your inbox zero, like the inbox zero hero, right? Like who is this inbox zero hero who has had every perfect inbox email checked, replied, responded, categorized, sorted out? Where does this end, right?
Yeah.
So that is
So
one
their
kind. And
personal life is all at a, goes for a toss.
exactly, you are literally walking on the pyre of your personal life as you are trying to get to this superhuman quality of at work. Whether it is you're worried that you might be laid off, or whether you're worried that you might not get the next promotion, you're like working literally to death, right? But uh, and then
The sales
on
deal has to work through. Absolutely.
exactly, and
Yeah.
relationships are hurting because of that. So many things, and online shopping addiction. You again, we were just talking about it. Gambling is trading stocks. There are some people I know who trade stocks on a daily basis as a side, and they are, the whole crypto crash that happened.
Yes.
People lost thousands and thousands of dollars. Online auctions. People go to these online auctions to buy vintage items. They don't
Mm.
have places in their homes to put all these things, right? But they are like hopelessly, they just get a rush of getting something which is worth $100,000 for like, oh, I won this in an auction, and like, boom, right? uh, Relationship management, obsessively replying to every WhatsApp message,
Right.
obsessively replying to every DM, direct message that you get, even from strangers, whatever, because you feel like that is part of your social currency.
Yes.
uh, and that is we'll talk about the social ills if we have time. We catfishing. You have this
What is that?
cute little. So catfishing is one of the social ills brought upon by technology, which is, I have this awesome online personality. Okay, you want to connect with me, you follow me, or you connect with me and everything. I'm
Mm.
this. perfect person online. Like, but when I meet you, if you ever get a chance to meet me, you cannot even recognize my personality because I'm not anything like what I am online. Because
God, it is like totally a different. I project a different personality. Janus, I have the
e-
opposite face.
exactly, and so many people have become victims of catfishing. They so much so that I love Girija Ji's presence. Like, she is so awesome. She's such an online, like, go-getter and everything. I want to collaborate with her. Hey, let us set up a company and, like, let's transfer funds into a common bank account. Let's start a project and everything. You meet one day to discuss everything, and you are just, is this the same person that I have been working, like trying to work with? And you have already come at a point where you have already so much invested in a potential project with the other person. So, you
God.
have become a victim of catfishing. And then, of course, the catfishing is, the problem is unrealistic expectations with the personal interactions you just had,
In the
basically.
digital, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. This is a new term I learned today. So, Rachana, I missed it.
Exactly. So what happens is, the next obvious thing is cyber sex and porn addiction, right? Which is
Yeah.
that, uh, right now, is, they say, the parts of the, so there is a book by, on porn addiction in teens, by Ben Halpert, where he says there are brain scans which say that the reward system is like when you have a high or a rush, as in cocaine addiction. That is the kind of rush you get. And especially teenagers, as we were just talking about, they're not able to stop and have, think about what they just saw. They see a video, they're like, oh wow, uh, this is how, people get intimate, right? And you see
Yeah.
that kind of a version of it online. And these days, 10-year-old kids are experiencing their first adult content without their permission online. Like, it just, as you said, it just comes onto our face. Like, we
Yeah.
don't even, we were not even going to look for it, but
Yeah.
it just shows up in our lives.
Correct.
So,
Yes.
and the last thing, of course, which is, the internet gaming addiction that we are talking about. Internet gaming addiction in itself is not going to be a problem if the child understands. Okay, you know, we were taking breaks in our childhood to play video games. Right now, children are playing video games and taking breaks to dabble in reality. Oh, quickly go grab something to eat. Oh, quickly, mom is shouting that the room is a mess. Let me just clean up and go back to my video game, right? So you're living your video game life and you're just living a reality few minutes at a time. So,
Absolutely.
so that is the big problem. And the problem is 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds are learning, especially women gamers. If you research about this, women are being abused, cyber bullied, because men, a lot of men think that gaming is traditionally a men's empire. So
Oh, really?
girls and women are getting cyberbullied to the extent that, go kill yourself. This is how you can kill yourself. They're even being shown ways on the video chat and audio chat and all these chat transcripts
Yeah.
where, this is how you kill yourself. You're not good at gaming. Go back to your kitchen. Or go back to this. Go back. There is this serious issue that is happening on the world of video gaming.
Okay.
Thankfully, yeah, World Health Organization has identified this as a clinical medical diagnosis and a disorder. And of course, the last but not the least is social media addiction, right?
So
The
all
whole,
this technology advance still has not broken the patriarchal mindset of people.
yes, and this is, see, some of the most, the Scandinavian countries where all these good video game, most popular, not good, most popular video games emerge from. These are the ones that have, kids. Every single country has video gamers, and it is not just a cultural thing that, for us Indians or Asians, where the patriarchy system exists. It is there across the board. Of course, that is a completely different topic, but
Okay.
there is a problem that
Same
exists,
here
right?
also. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And in video gaming, it is. And because of the scale and the ubiquity of, where you can reach out, and you have this far facade right in front of you. You don't
Yeah.
have to put your real name. You don't have to say who you are, where you live, your address. Nobody knows anything about you. And you can be your meanest self online. Like you
Yeah.
can be the most bitter, hate mongering person ever. Right.
Yes.
So social media addiction, as we were just talking about the TikTok blackout challenge, there's so many problems with that. The children, as you said, for likes, comments, shares, and all these things, for just becoming the next influencer. And if you ask children what is the job that you want to do,
Yeah.
my students would say 5 years ago, YouTuber. Now they want to become an influencer. What do you even know about influencing? Like, what is it that you even
Yeah.
know, right? But they still want to be an
What do you
influencer.
want to influence people for? Is there an
Exactly,
objective? Yeah, exactly. Why is not there? There's
exactly,
no why.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and we are becoming this echo chambers, right? Like in social media, why do we go there? Because we'll have a group of people who identify. So if we are working for Sushant Singh Rajput's justice, we are like, we go into that echo chamber where people are, contributing to all that, and we are like, okay, oh, we identify them with as our group. And then what happens is, if anybody says anything outside of the norm, we immediately try to push them away, not rationalize anything with what they are saying, and
Yes.
there is outrage that comes out of it. And again,
It is
assholes.
personal property.
Exactly. And take things personally. You haven't met any of those people that you are interacting with or anything, and you just, it is out, and you can stay behind a far facade. You don't have to ever publish your name and become the asshole.
Absolutely.
And that is how you start trending, right? So, yeah. So these are the different kinds of, uh,
Addiction.
yes, addictions.
Yes. So you already almost discussed this. What are the signs of addiction? Like that's what you began with. You said that when a person is lost when he is there with us. So we were just wanted to discuss what are the various signs of a technology addiction. So you already talked about it, I think, right in the beginning. So if there is anything more that you would like to add to it.
So I can consolidate that
Mm.
in a 2 minute wrap up here. Like,
Yeah.
how, if you want to just self diagnose
Mm.
yourself,
Mm.
am I hopelessly addicted to technology? This is what you can think of. You are a victim of technology creep. Technology creep is, technology is creeping into your life in from all directions.
Yeah. Yeah.
You you're sitting, you're cooking, but you're watching something, a WhatsApp joke or a Instagram reel, and you're cooking. That is technology creeping into your life. You're driving. See,
Yeah.
harmlessly turning on the YouTube playlist and let it run while you're driving is not technology creep, unless it is interfering with your activity of driving, where you are actually picking up and responding to social media messages, right? So there
Exactly.
is a difference. So the
Yes.
technology creep is happening. You are
Yeah,
falling
you
into
may be listening to music, or you may be listening to some podcast, you may be listening to some, stand-up comedian. That's all fine. As long
exactly,
as you don't stop somewhere and then immediately start writing, or you want to engage with them, then your attention
exactly.
is all diverted.
Exactly. You are engaging in comparison trap. So what
Yeah.
is happening is, you have this unfair, unrealistic expectations of how your life should look like when you see celebrities or other friends living a great highlight reel of their life. So the highlight reel is, they will obviously not share pictures of them crying on the internet. They will always show pictures of them having a party, somebody throwing them a surprise party, and having a great time. And then you are falling into the comparison trap. You are stressed out because of the way you perceive other people living their life. And of course, you know you're moody, you're irritable, you don't have any outside generic, like, things that will identify as your own interests. So I remember 2010, I went to a party, and that is the first time I heard this word, when somebody was saying, "Oh, what are your hobbies? What are your hobbies?" and everything. And one lady stands up and she says, "Browsing." So we were all introducing ourselves, right? That is the first time I heard the word browsing, and I was like, "What is browsing?" So I didn't even know browsing at that time. We were like what 4 years from our first cell phone at that point, and that had 3 years from. So this is 2010, right? So browsing had already become a hobby back then, when you're just browsing and going through other people's feeds or news feeds or anything to just catch up, right?
Yeah.
So and failure to
It's a
stop.
kind of a internet wiring or
Exactly.
gossiping. It's like that. Just trying to
Ex-
get what is happening in other people's life, peek into
exactly.
all.
Exactly. You take your phone to your bedroom, you put it under your pillow, you stay up late night trying to catch up. You cannot even go to the bathroom without your cell phone. There's some real, like, you have 25 tabs open, and you can't seem to, like, you know put them to rest because you still want to figure out what they are all about.
Yeah.
And uh, uh, you're buying things that you don't want, right? And so we talked about that. And the most important thing is nomophobia, right? It is like this phantom vibration. So nomophobia and phantom vibration, two words. Nomophobia is fear of not having your cell phone around you. So nomophobia. And then phantom vibration is, hey, did my phone ring? It won't ring. It wouldn't have rung, but you're feeling that it has rung. So
Right.
all these things, if you're going through, you're probably
Yeah.
addicted at this point of time. So I'm sorry, it sounds a little
Like
gloomy.
FOMO, fear of missing out is there.
Fear of missing out. Exactly. You have this excessive need to catch up.
Yes.
So
What I should know everything. I cannot be not knowing something. It's
exactly, exactly.
yeah, but this phantom, this thing is something very interesting. Like my father used to say when I had got married and I'd come to Mumbai, then he would say suddenly, when I come near your room, I felt like you are humming. So
Uh,
I felt like
yeah,
my father used to say that. So I just remembered that. I said, how much it has become
I know.
the sort of, yes, absolutely. Even when the phone doesn't ring, did my phone ring?
Exactly,
Really,
exactly.
yeah. So the
Vibration. Yeah, it's phantom vibrations. Like, nothing is happening. It's not real vibrations, but you're sensing that maybe
you are
phone could ring.
imagining that
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. Yes, it is there. Yeah. So, what are the various behavioral uh, aberrations that technology addictions can lead to? Though, while we discussed it, yes, you did talk about it, but you can wrap it up. Like you did say that how a person can turn away and look at the phone, or even over the bed sheet. They put up the bed sheet and then they are looking at it while carrying and going to the bathroom. They are looking at it. Like I said, in a wedding, you are sitting with friends. You're sitting with your close family in a restaurant to celebrate the birthday or something, and even then you want to first put out what you're eating to the people, right?
Exactly,
You're going on a
exactly,
picnic and then you want to post the selfie. Instead of enjoying the environment, you want to post your selfie. You are standing on dangerous cliffs and taking selfies. All these things happen.
exactly. So exactly. So social ills. Um, so your question is, what are the various
Behavioral
behavioral
aberrations that technology
aberrations
can
that are
lead us
happening,
to.
right? In that context, we can talk about three different umbrellas. So basically, there are social evils that are
Mm.
evolving as a use of our collective technology use. There are
Yeah.
some physical issues that are happening to our body because of our excessive use of the internet. And then
Mm.
there are our psychological and our mental health disruptions that are happening, which are in combined with our other clinical diagnosis. Some
Mm.
people are not doing really well, so they're not coping well with technology. So the social ills that you're talking about, right? The Instagram, excessive selfie usage, excessive, posting on social media and all those things. There is a reason why that happens, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Out of COVID, there came something called doom scrolling. So, doom scrolling is, you are constantly getting up the next morning to see how many people died, how many people contracted COVID, how bad the situation in your current periphery is right now. So, that became an excessive preoccupation of people. That was a behavioral disorder as a collective society we were engaging in. So that is called doom scrolling.
Yeah.
So yeah, some people are still having to wean off of that because news is now
Yeah.
mostly
Yeah.
negative.
Mhm.
So exactly. So doom scrolling is a thing where you engage in, where you're constantly looking for negative news to like whine about, worry about, and stress about.
Yeah, you won't believe it. I may not know the term like doom scrolling, but I know that if this person posts, it is going to be about COVID. It is going to be about the dangerous the sites wherever it has been a problem. Okay, so you know that there are some people who are doing it, but I know the word. Yes, so I knew what it is. Sometimes, okay, I don't even want to open and see it because
Exactly.
yeah,
That person is
there's nothing positive about it because all the time it is coming like that. Yes, very true.
so yeah, we all know some people in our
Experiences.
lives who are, yeah, exactly, who are like that, who go hunt for negative news, right? And
Extremely
see,
cautious and yes, yes,
exactly. And unfortunately, that is also not completely self-inflicted for them. That is the whole problem here, right?
yeah,
So technology is as much to blame as our lack of self-discipline. That is the whole point here.
yeah.
So here, so one second. Thank you. I'm just okay. Thank you, guys. I'm missing some comments, but I'm going to
Yeah,
read
I
all,
know, but we are
reply
so
all.
lost in the conversation. But I just definitely wanted them to know that we feel grateful for that comments. So I'm just posting them for
Yes,
putting.
yes,
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 please. So here, the next thing that is happening is fame hungry. So what is happening is, children as young as 15, 19, 21 are becoming influencers. What about me? I have so much to offer. I'm a 41-year-old woman who has so much to offer to the world. Let me also become an influencer. I'm going to start posting selfies with my husband's help. He's going to follow around the house and make me clean up my house, decorate it in a way that I want, cook these fabulous looking meals all the time, and I want to become an influencer, right? So the fame hunger is also leading into negative self attention. People are hacking their own accounts and reporting to police saying that, oh my gosh, I'm a victim of, yeah. So a lot of behavioral disorders
yeah,
are emerging out of our need for attention, and the technology is just amplifying all the things that are crazy about this whole thing called human, right? So in 2018, New York Times had reported, for you to get as many followers as 25,000 of them, you will have to pay $225 on Twitter. So this was Twitter. If you see how people can have, so if you can see the percentage of engagement, it's usually less than 1 or 2% who will,
yeah.
of course, everybody will read your post, but not everybody will like and retweet.
Respond or like, yeah, that's
Exactly. So that is okay. 1% engagement is okay. But if it is anything less than that, you will have to question, especially celebrities who seem to have half of the world population as their followers. You have to like question them. Like,
right.
Even Nike, a shoe brand, which is so popular, only
Yes,
has 4% of the, uh, world as the consumer, excuse me, 0.4% as the world's consumers, right? So,
right.
so you have to yeah, and so that's something.
Just now in this context, when we're talking about how people want fame and they were
Yeah,
willing to do anything, I just remembered a conversation with Prime Minister Modi.
yeah,
Somebody asked, "What do you want to be remembered as?"
yeah,
And then Modi says, "Do you know who wrote the Vedas?" The person who asked the question said, "No, I don't remember." Then he said, "Vedas have been there for years and they are
yeah,
still a guiding light, and we don't know the author of Vedas."
yeah,
Modi. I'm just here to do my job. Just as somebody's a teacher, somebody's a nurse, I'm prime minister. I'm doing
yeah,
my job. I don't want to be remembered as anything. I just want to be a servant of India.
yeah,
That was the height of humility. And then, if we all want to be famous, then what is it? I just
yeah.
think.
Exactly. See, somebody has to be at the top of the pyramid, okay, because they have rightfully earned the spot to be there, right? But
Right.
every one of us, you, me, everybody can be at the top of the pyramid, but did you legitimately earn that spot
Learn
to
that.
be? I mean, we are not talking about
But anybody can
authoritative.
aspire for it. What stops you? You can
We
dream.
are, Yeah, I mean, we are not talking about authoritative dictatorship kind of,
Yeah,
environments or anything like that.
right.
But the thing is, of course, the question that the journalist asked about the author of Vedas itself is just like so striking to me, that it is all smritis and condensed,
Yes.
yeah, things that it's, I don't know. They and again, these questions are all gimmicky, right? Oh, even the prime minister doesn't know the author of the Vedas, so
No,
that can
Prime
be like
Minister asked the person who questioned him. The person who
oh,
asked the Prime Minister,
okay,
what do you want to be known as? So Prime Minister asked him back, do you know the name of
okay,
who wrote the Vedas? Do you
okay,
remember? He said no. So he said, that's what it is. So why will I be remembered? And I don't want to be,
exactly.
you
See,
know,
that is the whole point, right? Like we overestimate the value of our personal contribution. Of course, that doesn't mean that we should stop engaging and using our voice to talk about and things that matter to us, and share the opinions that we have about things that are going on. I think Girijaa ji is frozen, but we'll wait for her to come back. So the next social evil that
yes,
okay, the next social evil that we are going to talk about is perfectionism. So out of the fame, hunger, and everything, now you are posting, but you want to get better at it, right? So in the craving for aiming for a perfect shot for your food that you're posting, or for your sari that you're draping over and showcasing, for the perfect shot, you are going to curate through 200 pictures and post the best.
that's true.
Because you have spent 4 hours in this whole exercise, you are expecting those many likes, right? It has to be, but sometimes it is not. So I have 100 followers on
Disappointed.
yeah, exactly. So I have 100 followers on Twitter. So I'm grateful for each one of them. They think that I matter. I have something to contribute and everything. Great. I'm very happy. But if I think that the 100 followers is going to be my social currency, and that is how much the depth of my influence can be, I'm sadly mistaken, right? I can influence maybe 20 people uh, in my physical world around
Yeah.
me over
Entire
years and
family.
years.
Yes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, right? How many people can look back and tell you, oh, Rachana, you have really influenced the sphere of my life when I was growing up? How many people will actually end up saying that towards the end of your life, right? So imagining that strangers in an ecosystem online will be like hunting for you and like fighting over for your attention and everything, this is all
Sort of a fallacy
delusion, exactly, delusional.
solution.
So
Yeah.
this is all, yeah. So, and then of course we have the sex predators that are always waiting to groom you, because they want to like right now it's a very big problem. When we go into the children's category, we'll talk about it, what is happening there. Online sex predators are there. We need to be watching out for that. Deviant behavior, you know, how do you normally communicate via DM? But if you see the DMs of some of these sex predators, they are just outrageous and just plain horrific. So you can become a victim of that. You have to be careful. Again, we are victims of stress infused because of information overload. What is Kim Kardashian wearing today? Where is the
Yeah.
Ukraine war today? What is the gas price because of Ukraine war? Who has divorced? Which celebrity has divorced for the third time? You know, how many things are you planning to catch up on a day, along with living a productive life offline, right?
Right.
Materialism, instant gratification, otherwise irritability.
Yes.
We heard about that gentleman, Swiggy or somebody, that lady in
Yes.
Bangalore. She,
Yeah.
she.
She got so upset because it was delayed or something, and
So
then hit the
food
post.
takes time. If the food that you are ordering doesn't take time, I would be worried. But instant, in the world of instant everything,
Yeah.
instant download, instant Netflix show, like you don't have to wait for 7 seasons. Like, do you remember the Ramayana episode that we would watch every Sunday? We would have to wait exactly 7 days at the same time to be able to watch the next episode, or the Tom and Jerry show, as
Yes.
kids that we were watching.
Yeah.
Now 7 seasons you can binge watch at the same
Anytime,
exact
anytime. Yeah.
anytime, right?
Everything is available on. Yeah. So there is no waiting, no waiting. Everything is, you are getting it instantly. So we are inculcating that habit, which is very bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then keyboard activism. Again, I have a voice. I'm an armchair expert on everything I see. Hey, this is not pardonable. He needs to go to jail for this. Hey, she is, you know, you
How can
are,
she say this?
yeah, you
Yes.
are being outraged on behalf of other people who are probably not taking that so seriously. They're like,
Yes.
"Ah, let it go, whatever, right? But you are getting riled up and
Why are they
outraged on
not
behalf.
taking action on it? And we suggest them to go to court, do this, do that.
Yeah, yeah, but
It is their life, and they will do whatever they need to, what we need to do, and then we can just keep quiet. But we don't do that. We
exactly,
advise people, and if they don't follow that advice, we get angry also, as though we are
ex-
entitled to their, that they have to listen to us.
exactly. So here, a keyboard activism. The biggest thing is if I don't comment or anything, my friends' graduation pictures or my friends' wedding party pictures or anything, FOMO. First of all these 10 women went to Las Vegas to celebrate their one of the girls' 50th birthday.
Mm.
Why was I not invited? You know,
Yeah.
that problem, that is the biggest problem, right? FOMO, where the biological response from the inside is social anxiety and fear.
Yes. Why am I not invited? What
So
happened?
this is an
Did I do
engine.
anything wrong? All those stories we begin to build.
Exactly.
Yes.
Personalizing it. Earlier, fear was put into the system because it was an evolutionary thing that we needed. If we are not afraid of the lion in the savannah, we would be like, ah, it's a lion. It would come and eat you. So you had these limbic system in your brain that was put to fear, flight, and freeze responses.
Right.
Now, these responses, these basic native responses are being generated artificially because you saw some nice picture of a friend enjoying with a group of her friends.
Exactly. So
So,
here there is Rocky who has said the same thing, like no social influencer can inculcate good values. All they intend is to induce jealousy in others. That's why people on FB post to New York from Haji Airport. Yes, there are some people who do put very good posts and then they begin to inspire you. But then most of these are like this. That's true, Rocky. Yes.
and that is them
Yeah.
showing their social capital, right? For advertisers and
So
all these
yes,
people.
Rachana,
Yeah.
various behavioral disorders. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just
Yeah.
finish off. Yeah. So the most important thing again is you're generating like what Rocky was saying, right? You're generating this artificial social currency around you, saying that look, I'm so important, right? You are creating this superficial social capital around which you want your economy to run. The attention economy of others will be running around you so that advertisers can gather around you so that you
Mm.
can sell more and more of their stuff.
Absolutely.
Again, online harassment, cyberbullying, digital drama is increasing around the children. Whatever they're canceling their
Mm.
friends. If
Yes.
so, what they
Cancel
do is
culture.
they
Cancel
start
culture.
off with exactly they start off with a group of 20 kids. You know, whatever we adults do, they are replicating the same thing. It's called digital drama. What they do is they start off with a group of 20 kids at the school year beginning. They slowly keep removing people and create new groups. They simply don't respond to the messages of the other people. They just start ghosting them. So
Yes.
ghosting is another social evil. What is happening is when you ghost people, you literally fall off the earth for them. Like you just turned off everything. You don't respond. Of course,
Yes.
there are many other relationship disorders that are happening. We'll get into that later. But okay, the physical ailments. A lot of people complain that they are in a foggy hysteria every day.
Hmm.
I have so much to do. I don't know where to start, and I'm outraged for no reason. right? So this is the main problem. We are, if you are constantly in a foggy hysteria, you'll have to rethink your priorities. I strongly, of course, we are going to do part two where we are talking strictly about what to do when when you're trying to uh, solve your
Regulate.
technology
Yeah.
addiction problem, right?
Intake. Yes.
Exactly. So the foggy hysteria is leading into physical ailments like headaches, runny eyes, red eyes, vision loss, weight loss in some cases, and they're physically manifesting as stressors that are turning into IBS, the irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome is the gut. You might have heard of this saying called gut is the second brain, right?
Yeah.
There is a reason why, and
FNC, we say.
and
Yeah.
and women's intestines are 1.5 times longer than that of men.
Yeah.
We are truly we are there to overthink, unfortunately, biologically, what men can quickly decide in a couple of minutes. We'll have to throw away five pairs of clothes before we can decide on the perfect outfit for the party, right? Like, so literally, sorry, I'm having a little bit of cold here. Okay. So here, so IBS is the main problem. If you are having gut related issues, if you are not able to literally go every morning, like how you're supposed to excrete all the
Clear out.
toxins,
Yeah.
right? The first thing in the morning, that is how biology, that is how circadian rhythm has been
Yes.
created for us as an evolutionary uh, point
Mechanism.
for us. Exactly, right? So, and then of course we have the carpal tunnel syndrome. A lot of people are going through right now, excessive clicking of the mouse, excessive usage of all these devices. And
Yeah.
of course, teens can type with their thumbs faster than any human being has ever been able to do right now. They are getting the text neck, it is called. So our
Yeah.
head is 10 pounds.
Like this. Yeah.
Yes. So our head
Going
is
back
10.
to the previous creation, the previous generation. Now,
Yeah, exactly.
becoming age like
Now everybody has a text neck because the 10-pound head, when you put it, the muscles are stretched
yes.
so much, you're putting 50 pounds of weight on the 5 times more. And right now, what is happening is they're having neck issues, shoulder
Yes.
issues, all these things. The chiropractors are now big time back into the business. Physiotherapists and all this, they're having a field day because of what we are doing to ourselves.
Yeah.
And so again, phantom vibration, nomophobia. Nomophobia is the fear of living without a mobile phone, even if it's for 2 minutes, right? So they and the other things, the mental issues, the mental health issues that we are going through, low self-esteem because of
Yeah.
that, insomnia, sleep deprivation is a very big thing that is affecting our productivity, and we are abusing drugs. Substance abuse is on the rise because we are not able to cope with the information overload that we are infusing into our lives.
So one
Uh,
addiction is leading to another.
exactly, it is a recursive thing. Like,
Because you're sitting alone, then nobody is there, then also you begin to consume. So there are different reasons why that.
exactly. Anxiety is through the roof. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is on the high for kids. Yeah, these are pretty much all the physical and the mental issues that we are going through as a society. So thank
Consider me as your free publicist.
and
Yeah, because it seems like a PhD research.
no, no.
Absolutely beautiful
Like, this
development.
is my pet project, and I started doing this truth about technology project like almost 5 6 years ago, when I just found out that we are not really coping well as far as mental health is concerned, and there is a really undeniable relationship between our technology use and our mental health. And yeah, that's thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
Things are made such that we will have the dopamine produced more and we feel like doing it more and more. Like we go to a mall and then they have big chocolate fountains, and it's psychologically proven that when you see that, you begin to feel like you have plenty of money and you can spend, you can
Yeah,
splurge. So
yeah.
that kind of an illusion it creates, the entire huge malls and the construction and the things that are being done there. That is what it creates. So
Exactly.
there are things are done with all psychological study. We don't
Exactly.
realize that. Yes.
And that is the reason why we encourage our children to use paper money, what you were
Rather
saying
than
about,
digital. Yes.
rather than digital money, because you don't have a perception of how much you really have, how much you really can afford.
Absolutely.
And in Germany, one of the very good countries that is doing a very good job of still holding on to paper money as much as possible.
Mm.
And because of which they're doing really well, they're very conservative and fiscal with conservatively fiscal with their, as a community and as
Mm.
a society. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things. Still, the
If
physical
you're
world has
using
an
digital
advantage.
money, Rachana, I what I follow is I don't use a credit card at all.
Yeah,
Then you know very well that this is what I have, and within this I have got to spend.
that is
So
exactly correct. Yeah.
yeah, so even
Otherwise,
then I'm using only digital, but only with what I have, debit. That's it.
exactly,
So we have
exactly,
to be very careful in our transaction because now you're using debit card. What you
exactly,
have will be wiped off 1 second. So you will not be, you will be 100 times careful with which side you're going and where you're doing. So
exactly.
even my family also, my son also, I tell him the same thing, and he doesn't have a credit card either.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, it's for convenience, if you're shopping online for a biggest ticket item or whatever, it's just convenient. But otherwise, it's just best
You have
to
to be
have
very
paper
careful
money.
when you are
Yeah,
using credit card. Yes, then within a particular number of days you
yeah,
repay it so that
yeah.
the interest doesn't pile up. So you have to be careful because it
Exactly.
gives you the illusion that you can spend as much as you want.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
That is it. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, basically that's what I had for the disorders thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now, we'll talk about productivity, how it impacts academic productivity and workplace productivity. We have got to still discuss that.
yes, okay.
And
Um,
also relationships. These 3 points we wanted to discuss too.
okay, so I'll just quickly tell you, like at a good midpoint here, where it is important to also understand why we are addicted, because uh, as human beings, what is our need, that is making us addicted, and how big tech is capitalizing on that need. So here human beings are like, we what we want is uh, a sense of belonging. I belong to a community, I have a standing in the community, right? So when I joined so when I clicked on the link this morning,
Mm. Mm.
I just wanted to send this YouTube link to my mom, and then I was like, okay, let me see, and then there were 202 likes on it. I was like, oh, okay, this is great. Oh, yes, people care about what I have to say. Whatever I have to say might have some validation. Good, great. I was on that high, right? So, what happens is that is the lure of big tech that is pulling me constantly to be on my device. And that is what it is doing to make me a
Yeah.
compulsive clicker, compulsive swiper.
Right.
I'm that is getting converted in the favor of big tech. The
Right.
the 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 thing is, TVs are inert objects. They don't respond to us. They don't give us feedback. But our personal device, if I post a picture, I get likes, I get comments, I get shares, I get this, I get like things on my wall get added, and that is my social capital. I
Yes.
It boosts my ego in a way that TV will not. So that is why I have now. How are we consuming? We are not consuming on the TV as much as we are consuming on our personal devices, especially with social media, right? So, and to your point about that dopamine thing and everything, so dopamine rewards novel behaviors. So that dopamine hormone, which is the feel good hormone, is
Yes.
constantly looking for novelty. It is looking for new experiences. When you get 1,000 points today on a video game, tomorrow that 1,000 is not going to be rewarded as much as today's, because it's like, I've already been there, done that, whatever, right? So that again leads to what is called down regulation, where you're craving for more and more and more. So this is not something that is completely your fault. This is the way this machine has been designed to keep you occupied on it. So that's something I have to tell, because people often think that it is the lack of self-discipline that is leading to all
Exactly.
these
But
behaviors.
most addictions, people always say that. But then there is a physiological aspect to it, there is a chemical aspect to it, which we do not realize. So,
Exactly.
whether it is alcohol addiction or drug addiction, yes, there is something there. It's not always lack of self discipline, only that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Very often, I have found people who are very self disciplined, who may be very particular about all their personal habits.
yeah,
When it comes to drugs or alcohol, they are not able to control themselves, or
exactly.
tobacco for that matter. Otherwise, they may be very particular. They may get up at a specific time. If they are not on the days when they are not addicted, they'll be very particular about the meals they have, how much they will eat, what it is that they will apply. They are very particular about their hygiene, all those things. But the moment that they are on alcohol or drugs, then they go on a binge, and then for days they don't have that discipline at all.
So
Which
exactly.
is
So that is neurological again. That can be a very big topic in itself, where our
Yeah, we have discussed
muscle,
that.
yeah,
Sharing. So the same way here also, it is not only about self-control. There are
exactly,
things beyond that which
yeah,
are operating there.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And our there is a book called there's a book called Irresistible. By Adam Alter, and he also writes about it, where he has shown a lot of research from neuroscientists and all that, who talks about, what happens, what is the rush that we get when we engage in sexting, when we are playing video games, when we are gambling, why, what it is doing to our neurology that is making us stay on it forever and ever. It's a fascinating book that I highly recommend. But yeah, so
Yes. It is
yeah.
like the session. Yes.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Judy. Thank you. So here, you want to talk about productivity.
Productivity impact on studies, at workplace and relationship.
Okay,
Whatever we
so
can cover today, we can cover. If you have no problem, then we can continue. And
okay. I think we can do 15 more minutes if
yes,
you have time. Okay.
yes, yes, yeah.
So okay, thank you. So here, productivity, right? So uh, if all these things are going on in our life, so for example, we are getting bullied in the workplace, or a stranger is threatening us on a DM. uh, as adults, children who are going through their own digital drama. Somebody is not inviting them to a party, but they can see the pictures of the party on Instagram. you know but people in the group are not responding to them directly, like they're going through their own. So all these things, what they do to our mental health is they are going to shift our focus from our primary goals, from what we are here to achieve, and
Mm,
they take us into these self-pity journeys of self-pity, low self-esteem,
mm,
mental health issues. And this has been, so Facebook, two times it has been called out in the last 1 year on a very big way, where the
mm,
internal reports for Facebook show that for teenage children, especially girls, it
mm,
has been it has been affecting their self-esteem in a major way. So Wall Street Journal had first broken this news about Facebook's internal memo that
mm.
Instagram reels and Instagram pictures were leading children to go on a self-pity, like low self-esteem journey, because they don't see themselves as these perfect little friends of people that they can have, right? So uh, all
The
these
Barbie
things.
doll syndrome.
Exactly. So here, the problem is, Dr. Larry Rosen. So there is this gentleman called Larry Rosen. He is an author as well. He wrote the book The Distracted Mind. In Distracted Mind, what he says is, he lays out, he also talks about distraction and productivity and what is happening to us, of the four mental health challenges that we are going through, which is affecting
Mm.
us. Nothing in our real life is as exciting as what we are seeing online. So it is leading to boredom. We are not able to, as you said at the beginning, you're at a wedding, but other people are engaging on the phone. You're having this beautiful ceremony of two people getting together for the rest of their lives. You are bringing them into your family. You're still, that is not even uh,
Engaging
exciting
you,
enough.
what somebody you don't know. You want to see what is happening there. You are just browsing on the Facebook, if I look at it,
Exactly. And
aimlessly.
second thing is anxiety, increase in anxiety. You know, I want to do so many things, I'm not getting them done. Other people are doing so many great things, right? Third thing is decrease in the ability to focus and stay with the task at hand. We are using this as a coping mechanism because we have this huge project we have to do, but let me just quickly check. You are avoiding what is necessary to do something that is completely not even needed, right? And then the next, the biggest thing is, there was this gentleman, I forgot his name. He's asked, he's one of the biggest, he works with one of the biggest employers in the world. He says, he's asked, what is the skill that you need? And he says, emotional intelligence, the ability to understand my non-verbal cues
Yes.
and just generally my body language to understand whether I am angry, sad. If you write in all caps, oh, maybe the person is angry. Oh, if I don't respond to your message instantly, maybe I'm angry. No, these are all not things. First, try to understand the physical
But
world.
but really, people don't even look at the face and then respond. They are looking at the emojis and they are making all kinds of assumptions. But sometimes there are people who don't understand the meaning of certain emojis and they put it, or by mistake some other emoji has come, and
That
then the
is
other person is working out his mind, what is this, he has put this message, what does it mean? Then when you
ex-
ask, the person says, I don't know, mere ko pata hi nahi tha aisa meaning hai.
that is a whole another topic called linear communication, where
Yes,
there is no 3D communication. It's all flat. Okay,
absolutely.
there's no tone, there is no intent. There is you cannot understand. You're like, hey Rachana, why did you not come to my party? So you don't know whether she's just casually asking, is everything okay? Why did you come? Or hey, why the heck did you come to my party? So you don't know the difference, right?
Yeah.
So,
What is the intent, or what is the tone? What is the feeling with which the person is asking? We don't know.
exactly. So here, currently for productivity, what we are going through is, we are all of us are in the middle of the poverty of attention. That is where we are right now. And this is not a phenomena that has come up recently. We have always had things that will take us away from our core things that we have to do. But there is this gentleman, the Nobel Prize winner Herbert Simon. He had said long ago, what information consumes is the attention of the recipients. So,
Yes.
whenever you have information, my attention is here, but too much of information is creating a poverty of attention. The poverty of attention is happening where you need to have your attention the most. That is the main thing that is
Sad
happening.
part.
We are all poor in that way, with our productivity. That is the thing. And how is it affecting work? Again, some people are extremely sleep deprived when they arrive at work. You know,
Yes.
uh, in 2016, workplace trends, this is how we started balancing our work and our life.
Yes.
We became integrators, we became separators, the fusionists, and we became something called the cyclers. So it means that some people are able to balance work and life, they have time boxed it. Some
Yeah.
people have clear definition. After 5 p.m., I never check my
Mm.
email until 9 a.m. Some
Yes.
people are like, they're checking their email, doing laundry, they're checking their email, they will attend a few meetings, drink a cup of coffee. They're like, you know,
Doing
and
both.
there is this cycler who is not doing so well, who is extreme, they're like, they go on vacation, they're checking their email. They are here in their, personal holiday time, they're checking their email. And
Right.
on the flip
At your
side,
parents, they're doing it.
yeah, everywhere. So a lot of different kinds of workers have come into the picture since work-life balance has started. Uh,
Right.
is one good over the other? It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you is good, as long as you know that you're not sucking down a rabbit hole for too long in one direction. So
Right.
yeah, so A lot of things are happening which are countering our productivity as well. Again, we are bookmarking, we are saving, we are creating lists and lists and lists of task lists that are never getting seen. Like there's so many problems, right? So there is. I just wanted to show you.
Hmm.
Let me show you this Facebook. Okay, this is a good picture I had shared. One second. So if you see this, the time spent on social media in a lifetime, if you see from a productivity standpoint, and employers are actually struggling with this issue right now.
Yes.
The World Health Organization estimates that our global lifespan is 73 right now. Okay. And let us say you start using social media at the age of 10.
Hmm.
In that case, the average person will spend a total of 3.4 billion minutes, which is 6 years, 8 months just on social media in their lifetime. So, the question that you have to ask yourself is when you are 80, 90, whenever you get a chance to reflect on your life's journey,
Yeah.
will you say, oh, I wish I had spent more time on social media, or will you say something else? Like, what is it that, what is the legacy you want to leave for yourself? That is the question you'll have to ask. Um, and this is one more thing I wanted to focus here. Eric Paper, this gentleman had created the loneliness epidemic that is being created because of the social media addiction is more eyeballs, more clicks, more money. That is the only agenda that big tech has for you. It is up to you to reclaim your productivity by understanding the imminent dangers that it is doing to our neural pathways. So, you just, and this one, if you, this is what happened. This was 2018 or 19. I saw this here. You're picking up your child, get off your phone. This is outside the daycare.
Yeah.
When you are after 8 hours, 9 hours, you're going to pick up your child. You're still walking into the daycare using your cell phone and
Yeah.
completely oblivious to your child who is hanging on to you and trying to vie for your attention. You know
Absolutely.
that unfortunately, this is the world that we are living in.
So
So
sad. After so but not seeing the child for 8 hours, the child is dying to tell you something. 3-year-old, 4-year-old child, and you don't even look at the child. The child has got a cold. What has happened to the face? Not properly wiped.
have they
Nothing.
eaten? Have
Just
they? Yeah.
look at their face. There a smile, or are there dry tears? Nobody looks at that.
It's just heartbreaking to see this, and it's just, yeah, it's a sad reality. And here, I like this joke that this gentleman says, I'm trying to make friends outside of Facebook while applying the same principles that I use online, right?
Okay.
Every day I tell passerbys what I have eaten, what I feel at the moment, what I have done the night before, and what I will do and with whom. So what is happening is he's waiting for thumbs ups to happen, but instead, four people are already following me: two police officers, a private investigator, and a psychiatrist.
It's amazing. Wow, it's such a beautiful social experiment. I must say.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is. It is amazing.
So
Yeah, that
yeah,
tells us a lot about how our behavior is so very unnatural in the social media.
exactly.
Like, for example, when we had COVID, I had some of the friends who were posting what kind of food they made or the dress that they were wearing at home and posting because, okay, I'm not going out, so let me feel good.
Uh,
But then I said, there are so many people suffering because they've lost their jobs, they're leaving homes. And at this point of time, is it necessary to post this? And they said, oh, those people will not even look at the social media. Who said that is something available cheap for them? And they may
yeah,
be looking at that, right? And why do you
yeah,
want to do that? Absolutely. Yeah. It's so sad. So it was a very beautiful discussion we had today.
yeah,
Unless you have something that you want to say to wrap up, I would like to wrap it up.
yeah. Please, please.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
continue later. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, we are continuing with Rachana in the next session. What steps can we take to control this addiction? That's what we are going to discuss. Now, some of the, even though social psychologists and everybody says that, okay, it may not be classified as an addiction, but some of the parallels of drug addiction to or digital addiction to substance abuse are striking. Any addiction means there is loss of control. There is change in mood if that substance that you like is taken away from you. There is no tolerance. There is withdrawal symptom if you're taken away from it. The continuation of use, even though there are adverse consequences, your relationship is spoiled, your marks going down, your appraisals are being tell you a big whole different story about your productivity. But still, if you continue, that shows it's an addiction. So we have to work on this. There is a small poem that I composed on this. So I just will close with that.
Yeah.
We live in a world inundated with devices, cooing birds, rustling leaves, nothing entices. Laughter of kids at play and oldies on bench seem far off. Ask someone to go with you for a walk, and you are inviting a scoff. Neighbors, friends, brothers, they pass by. No one looks up, even if someone were to die. Buried in screens, make world dreams, oblivious to pickpockets, rapes, or screams. Person sitting next to us may be in tears. Everyone is missing out. What fears? What am I missing out? That kind of fears. The one who cares sitting next to you is ignored. The one on screen is adored. That is what is happening today. So thank you so much, Rachna. I learned a lot from you today,
Thank
and
you.
I'm sure that many of the viewers have written this. We have experienced this, but we don't know the exact terms for this, and it helps us because, see, we find children going with the same problem. They have an issue and they don't know how to articulate, and
Yes.
so they are in a problem. So we should know how to articulate what exactly are we going through, and you highlighted so many things, and I look forward to the next session with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, viewers, for staying with us. Please share this with your friends, with many people, irrespective of whether they have digital addiction or not, because they may know, they may not know. Just share it. That's it. It doesn't cost you anything, but that may help somebody. Thank you a lot. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Shall I close the screen?
Yes.